Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Hotepish, intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. We are here. Thank y'all for joining. I was on Facebook talking shit. I was like, you know what? I'm just about to go live now. I was out of town this weekend. Craig Facts, we had 2 sold out shows in Las Vegas. Thank y'all for coming out. The people were great. It was great taking pictures. It was great meeting people. Man, we had people come out from Fresno, Chicago, Alabama to Vegas to watch us do our thing. That shit meant the world to us. Y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even understand. For those who don't know, I had a comedy show this first time on doing a real show since the coronavirus got in. And it was dope because it was with my original comedy family, you know? My first day on stage, Big Job was right there, you know? And so having him on the show from when we first started comedy together, and nobody paying attention to a damn thing we doing, to Ja now having over 1 million subscribers on YouTube with his videos and stuff is just great. Craig, I was there his first day on stage. I had only been doing comedy for 2 or 3 months. Brent Taylor was there. I was his door into black comedy clubs. He was only doing white clubs before. Brent wouldn't, made Brent sharp enough. And these were Brent's words. I didn't even know this, but I was his intro into black comedy clubs. And he hosted the show. I remember when Doughboy first moved out here to LA from Sacramento. And we were all on the show together. So it was like cats that started when no one gave a shit about us, now doing a show, and people are coming across the country to see us. That shit was dope. That shit was dope. Every comedian had a good set. That's another thing, because with us taking so much time off stage, it was gonna be, niggas are like, man, I don't know how this shit gonna come out. Because when you do comedy, man, it's about timing. It's about keeping your edge. It's like, yeah, you funny, but when it comes to telling stories to a group of people you've never met and don't know you, that requires a skill set that requires practice all of the time. And this past year during the corona epidemic, we have not gotten the practice. So we were all nervous about how, the show will come out. Like, we thank people for coming out, but at the end of the day, we want to deliver funny. People pay money to laugh. We don't take your money for granted. We don't say, oh, they're just going to come out to a show because they like the way we talk on a podcast or they like our videos, and so I can come up and show up and suck. Some people do that. Not us. When we come to your city with these jokes, y'all gonna laugh. It ain't gonna be, because it's a difference between internet comedy and stand-up comedy. It's a huge difference between making y'all laugh online doing a sketch or in a podcast than it is actual stand-up comedy. Way different games. And we've heard complaints around the country of people loving people online and then showing up to their comedy show, and it's like chuckles of fun. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Next joke. Chuckle. Okay. Nothing. Next joke. Laugh. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Shit sound like the never ending that train. What was that train? The little blue train that book we learned as kids? The train that never would give up. Chuckle, 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 chuckle. We ain't coming to y'all city to deliver chuckles of fun. We coming to y'all city to make you motherfuckers laugh. We'll have more dates announced in the next couple weeks. But I know we're gonna be in Texas. I know we're gonna be in Georgia at some point. I know we're gonna hit Detroit, Chicago at some point. So you guys will be getting the dates when we'll be showing up. And you motherfuckers is gonna laugh. For real, for real. What's up, Jay Elite? What's up, Goldie? What's up, Kenneth Berry? Let me look at the chat room, see who's in here. What's up, Remy? Yeah, little engine that could. That's what it was. A lot of these niggas be delivering those little engine that could comedy shows. Chuckle, 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 chuckle. Ha ha ha. Clever. Ha ha. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Ha. Ooh, that wasn't funny. Ooh, chuckle. Ooh. Are we gonna laugh? Chuckle, chuckle. Chuckle, chuckle. We ain't doing that. We are not doing that. We gonna come to as many cities as we can. All right. But we here though. It's good. It's good talking to y'all. I miss y'all. Again, I was thinking about going live in Vegas, but we was having so much goddamn fun after the show. The next day, shit, Top Golf and cigar. I was like, man, They just gonna have to understand I can't come to them live this weekend. It's too much business and fun going on. Yeah. In Cali, people do crap on comedians. The comedy clubs crap on comedians out here. That's why, Craig, that's why we wrapping this shit up. I appreciate the Cash App, Jay Lee. I appreciate that. Yeah, the comedy clubs do crap on comedians out here. The comedy clubs do crap on comedians out here. You work for free. Yeah, the Laugh Factory's charging $25 to get in, 2-drink minimum, and the show is sold out every time you do it. Go crack some jokes, make us this money so people can keep buying drinks. Take this little funky ass couple of dollars that we gonna give you because niggas is signed up and waiting a whole fucking year to get on your show. Comics wait a whole goddamn year, and I'm not shitting on it. That's the process. And for those who agree with those type processes, go on, take advantage. But I ain't down for that, man. I'm not down to be waiting for a whole year. And I've done those shows. Like I've actually had hookups, so I didn't have to wait a whole year. But still, the few times I've done it, the people that make decisions weren't there. You're making all these people laugh. Laugh Factory is the easiest place to get laughs. People just happy that they're on Sunset Boulevard on a Sunday night. You walk on that stage and say, "It's sunshine, bitch." They'll laugh. And all the while, you got this racist ass owner making all his money. The racist owner, allegedly, suspected racist owner, I should say, of the Laugh Factory, make people wait in lines once a week to show up. And black comics can only work Sunday night. And if you work any night other than Sunday night, you might be the token black person that they'll put up, or you have to have like major TV credits. The Comedy Store last week just now put Guy Torry's name on the wall and Melanie Camacho. Melanie Camacho, in my opinion, has been the funniest woman stand-up in the last 30 years. Guy Torry literally kept the Comedy Store open with his Tuesday night show for years. 30 goddamn years later, they want to put their name on the wall. Meanwhile, putting all them other niggas through all kind of hell to get on stage. I never have been the one to play that bullshit ass game. I respect myself too much to be any hoe to any comedy club. So what did I do? I just stayed in the hood with my jokes. The Family Room, the J Spot, little bars, little hood spots. I would go up, do casinos up and down through California, because California got a bunch of casinos. Pachanga, some casinos I can't even remember. Little casinos and trailers, just smoke-filled, dusty-ass rooms I've been doing for the last 10 years. I'm like, I'm going to keep doing comedy because I like making people laugh. But I'm not about to play these fucking games with these fucking comedy clubs. And on top of that, as militant as I can get on stage sometimes, these comedy clubs come to me like, Dwan, you shouldn't say that. You might run people away. I'm like, but they laughing, bitch. So I refuse to play the game. And so, like, shouts out to Craig for taking that risk. And, me and Craig were always on this vibration, man. Let's just do it ourselves. We were always on that vibration. And thankful to y'all listen to Craig Facts. Y'all watch this show. And when we threw our first show, y'all showed up like a motherfucker. That's 11 years in the works. That's 11 years of niggas like me, Craig, and Ja getting told no by these comedy clubs. Neither me, Craig, or Ja were regular in any of these LA comedy clubs. We all signed up. We all asked to get put on stage. Every now and again, they'll give us 5 minutes. Every now and again, at the Comedy Store, on the Black Night, of course, at the Comedy Union, Black-owned comedy club, by the way, that had its own little small group that if you weren't in that small circle, you didn't get no stage time. These comedy these comedy clubs get through us 5 minutes, maybe once or twice a year. But they weren't fucking with us. They were not fucking with us at all. So we said, fuck it, we gonna do it ourselves. And that ties into our message here about Kwame Brown. The message versus the messenger. You can't sit around and wait on people to say yeah. Sometimes you got to get off your ass and you say yeah, and you make that yeah happen. And dare anybody to get in your way. That's how we got to be as a people. Not only did comics like me and Craig not really get accepted into the mainstream quote-unquote white comedy clubs, we weren't necessarily accepted by the black-owned comedy clubs. We weren't necessarily accepted by the black promoters who promote shows at white comedy clubs and other places. The people who put on the shows at the major 3 comedy clubs here in LA, the black producers of those shows, they didn't necessarily accept us. Nope. And we was funny then. I told y'all, I was there Craig's first night on stage. He was funny from his first night on. I would see Jade work his act every Monday at the Comedy Union. Our first 2 years in comedy, shit, me and Jade were at some comedy club at least twice a week together, working on our act. These places did not openly accept us. But Big Ja always had that camera in his hand. He always had that camera on him. Jade would hit me up, and I didn't take the opportunity early on. He'll be like, Dwan, whenever you shoot your special, I got you. I'ma film it. He had been telling me that for years. So I did film one with Ja. I gotta put that video up on this channel. It's on Craig's Bullyfoot channel. I gotta put it up on my channel. I did like a 9-minute, 11-minute quick special. And it was Craig shot it. This is back like in 2015. And Jade was on the camera. Craig was shooting stuff back then. Before Roast Me. Okay, these comedy clubs ain't gonna do it, so we gonna do it. Every time I was out at the comedy club, if I saw Craig, I saw Jade. Them 2 niggas was. It's good to see they still close too, because back then, shit, them niggas look like an almond and a peanut M&M walking up in a comedy club. You just saw this nougat colored light skin. Craig looked like he can gargle cement walking up in a comedy club with Jade. And it's something that Larry said. Jade is the only nigga on earth that can make me look small. Like the only time I'm not the biggest nigga in the comedy club is when Jade walk in. That nigga Jade walk in and shit, that nigga put a shadow on the moon, that big black motherfucker. That nigga can give a full moon a shadow if he walked in front of it. Niggas kept working. We did not get sad the comedy clubs wouldn't accept us. We didn't pout saying, man, not even the black clubs will accept us, man. It's just terrible. Ooh, that's just terrible. Man, I tries. I got the wrong image up. I didn't even change my thumbnail from last video. Let me go back and put the new thumbnail up. But y'all know what I'm talking about. These niggas going around talking about some, man, we can't even get nothing done, man, because Man, even the black-owned places don't mess with me, man. Man, niggas ain't got time for that shit. What's up, Larry? I just saw your hoe ass in there. Larry was with us. Larry in the chat room, he'll tell you. It was me, Larry. I met Larry that same night. I met Larry and Jade on the same night. Larry was with us before he moved his hoe ass back to Houston. About 5 years strong, hitting these comedy clubs nightly. Nightly. Every day, I'm on the phone with Larry. Where we going tonight? Larry be like, hold on, let me call up such and such. And at least 2 or 3 nights a week, we were in the same comedy club. Some weeks, 6, 7 nights. 7 nights, all 7 nights that week. Some weeks. I see these niggas every day. Tagging each other's jokes. Making stuff tighter, making stuff better. That's why, you know, when you work comedy the way we do, that's why it's so, some of these beanbag jokes y'all be throwing be like, nigga, did you read that joke before you put enter? Do better. Yeah, salute to Larry in the chat room. He's still a hoe ass nigga, but he a good hoe ass nigga. It's funny too, because me and Larry, after every Kwame video, either I call Larry or Larry call me. Cause them videos be sounding like how we be sounding just in casual conversation. Cause Larry know I'll stomp his ears together. And that nigga be acting like a little Becky with the good hair when I be looking for that fade, you know. Larry talk all, like you see him in the chat room talking all that shit. But every time it's time to meet these hands, I try to give Larry a meet and greet with these hands. This nigga said, "Nah, I got a camel race. I got a camel race down at the racetrack," and he run. Like, nigga, you ain't in Saudi Arabia right now. Nigga. But we were on that grind, man. So you listening to a bunch of brothers who ain't just talking. We do it. So that's what a major thing Kwame Brown's talking about. We have to know how to listen to the message. Because the first week Kwame Brown was going on his dropping that game, people, the distracted amongst us, kept bringing up his NBA stats, not the message. The message, he has a lot of messages, but one of the major messages that stick out for me is going back at this media that marginalizes black men. That's what one of the major points I see that he's making. Because I've always made this point when it comes to sports. Watch baseball. I remember this was glaringly obvious to me around like the 2011-12 season. Because those years I'm at every Clipper game. I had been going to All-Star weekends for a good 10 years straight. I had been very close to the environment. So being in that NBA environment, I got to see for myself that the narratives within the NBA were different than the narratives that they were feeding me on ESPN. Because like I said before, I used to watch all of the ESPN shows. Around the Horn, Cold Pizza, First Take, all of them. Sports Center, the 3 o'clock, the 6 o'clock. Y'all know I ain't bullshitting for people who listening. Hell, I go back to Fox Sports, best damn sports show in history. Who remember that? That's when Stephen A. first really got it started. It was Tom Arnold, that other white dude that's still on Fox, Michael Irvin, and Stephen A. Smith. This is like the year 2000. The year the Lakers won that first championship, Shaq and Kobe. I was into all these shows, man. And I remember one of the major narratives was Kobe is selfish, Kobe doesn't get along with his teammates, and people in the NBA don't like Kobe. That was a major narrative in the 2000s, 2005, 2007, because they were really shitting on Kobe's name after that alleged incident in Colorado. And I got to hear that. I'd be like, damn, Kobe kind of fucked up. Then I started meeting, and I knew some of Kobe's assistant coaches. And I started running across and meeting other cats that once played with Kobe, some of Kobe's current teammates. And I would be like, man, and I would hear how they talked about him. I would be like, man, that's way different than what I hear. Like, if you were an all-star, like Kobe was seen, man, we're talking now like the 2008, 2009 years, right before he won that championship and right after he won that first championship with Pau Gasol, those years. You would listen to other players talk about Kobe like he was a god. Like, I mean, from LeBron James on down. You know, niggas would be talking shit, but whenever they had a Kobe story, there was nothing but reverence these players had. I remember I would be at all the parties. You would never see Kobe at the party. And it would be rumors. You would hear other niggas in the NBA gossiping like little girls. Hey, man, I heard Kobe gonna come to this one. And I was like, damn. The way the players and people within the NBA talk about this guy is way different than what I've been hearing on ESPN all that time. So that made me open up my third eye and pay a little bit closer attention. Larry got some of the dopest Kobe stories with Coach Hazard. Coach Hazard told Larry some of the dopest Kobe. Matter of fact, Larry was there Larry was there when the player that shall not be named left his goddamn workout clothes. And I mean, I'm not playing. This coach was working with a player that shall not be named. The player that shall not be named, was in Boston playing for the Celtics, and he hired this particular coach to work him out. Coach lost his bags, and I got the story from Larry, because Larry was there when it happened. This nigga Kobe sent that nigga all Laker gear, and had Coach working out a Boston Celtics player in the Celtics practice facility in Laker gear. Larry, did I tell the story right? Did I tell the story right, Larry? This nigga gave an assistant coach all Laker gear to work this player out and the player was new to Boston too. He had just gotten to Boston from his previous team, so it wasn't like he was an established player. This is a new player. So they're looking at this new player on the squad like, who's this nigga in all Laker gear here in Boston Celtics practice facility? That was Kobe being an asshole. Long-time listeners of me know who this player is. I'm a peaceful person, but certain people I just decided to stop giving energy to. But I still like to tell some of these stories, so I just don't give energy to certain things. That's why I'm not naming the players, not because I'm trying to hide anybody. It's just that I'm not trying to give any energy to some, you know how that go. Y'all know how that go. All what's understood don't need to be said. But I got to see that that narrative about these players was far different than what was actually going on within the league. Then I would see, like when I would watch baseball highlights, the Dodgers had Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw on the squad at the same time. Both had major contracts that were up to get done. ESPN didn't fight Zach Greinke didn't pit Zach Greinke against Clayton Kershaw the way they pitted Kobe against Shaq. Remember, let's take it back. Remember when the Arizona in baseball, when Arizona had both Randy Johnson as a pitcher and that other racist motherfucker, what's his name? Y'all baseball heads in here know. See, look, we see it here in the chat room. You got some dickhead in the chat room. Kobe had to do everything MJ did. I'm glad you put up a cat laughing because that was a pussy ass statement you just made, nigga. All players take from other players. And then from what they took, grow to the next level. Yeah, Curt Schilling. But I saw how the media will make it seem like, but like the media wouldn't pit Curt Schilling against Randy Johnson. They both got to be great. But when it comes to black players, one got to be pitted against the other. Like the argument this idiot just made in the chat room. But Kobe had to do what Jordan did. See, people like that, first of all, they know you don't know shit about basketball because Jordan didn't invent the moves himself. Most of those moves belong to the game. That Jordan fadeaway, that was a standard at the University of North Carolina. Everybody who played for, almost everybody who played for Carolina had a dope fadeaway. Michael Jordan's fadeaway just happened to be the one that was caught on camera the most and marketed the best. And it was the most effective because his fadeaway was the shit. But Rick Fox had that fadeaway, Rasheed Wallace had that fadeaway, Vince Carter had that fadeaway, Jerry Stackhouse had that fadeaway. If you went to North Carolina, you had that fadeaway. The move belonged to the game. But you get these people who are indoctrinated by sports media because they don't know what the hell they're looking at. They'll ascribe everything to Jordan because that's how the NBA marketed. The NBA's marketing plan made it seem as if Jordan was the only great ever and everyone else is looking up to him. When truth is, Jordan is just one of the greats. He dominated the 90s. Cheers. Was he the greatest basketball player of no time? No. They'll focus on 6 years of Jordan's career and make it seem as if that's the reason why he's the greatest and totally ignore him getting smacked around by Isaiah Thomas 3 years in a row. Totally ignored the fact that Jordan played through the 80s when Magic, Bird, and Thomas were in their primes and he couldn't do shit. Jordan was one of the greatest, but the media pushes the narrative that there's only one good Negro at a time. And people will spend all day arguing over who's better, this person, that person. Again, that's why I don't do sports and things anymore. I literally stopped my sports show because I said niggas care too much about sports. And I'm not about to sit here and argue with a whole bunch of niggas over who's greater. Hell yeah, Goldie, I love that basketball. Oh shit, what's up, Cisco? I see Cisco in the chat room. That's my man Cisco. What up, man? But all of these dudes are great, but the sports media make us fight one against the other. Me personally, I troll, like I said before, y'all know me. I love to troll LeBron James fans. I very, 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 very rarely talk about LeBron himself. I spend 90% of my time talking about his whole ass fans. Because y'all the weird niggas that allowed this shit to keep going on. Dude, don't touch the king. Don't talk about the king. That's some soft shit. It's sports, nigga. But Kobe and LeBron should never be compared. LeBron and Jordan should never be compared. Their games were totally different. They ran totally different offensive systems, and they played in two totally different NBA leagues with totally different rules, totally different personnel on the court, totally different defensive schemes. You cannot compare the two. And if you go a step further, LeBron's game and Jordan's game complement one another. But they got you niggas so ready to uplift Jordan and shit on Scottie Pippen. Jordan would do Scottie Pippen better than Scottie Pippen did Scottie Pippen outside of play defense. Pippen was a much better defender than LeBron. But outside of that, he would have out Scottie Pippen. But they got you niggas thinking being Scottie Pippen's a bad thing. They got you niggas thinking, oh, there's only one great. No, Jordan is a style of greatness. But his greatness could have never come out. His greatness could have never flourished if Pippen wasn't there to fill his role. And Pippen's greatness could have never flourished if Jordan wasn't there to fill his role. They were yin and yang. And the combination of the two is what was magic. But they don't allow multiple black athletes to be great. They shit on one to complement the other. So since people are so used to one athlete getting shitted on to complement the other, you see the men, the warrior class of black society, spending all goddamn day all week arguing over a bunch of bullshit. And that's what Kwame's talking about. That's the message. Because in American society, the athlete class is put up, the athlete and entertainer class, they're put out there as the best of black society. America doesn't tell you about George Washington Carver, Benjamin Banneker. America ain't got time to tell you about all the black geniuses that we've had. America ain't got time for that. America ain't got time to talk about all the black people who've invented things, built things, created things. No time for that. But they have all the time in the world to talk about who can dunk a basketball and who can sell the most records. So since that's the America that we're in, the best of black society is only shown through the scope of sports and entertainment. So when you have people up there, especially black announcers like Stephen A. Smith, like Chris Broussard, every person that Kwame called out, these people are actually the reasons why I stopped watching. I literally stopped watching because Chris Broussard looking like a pair of pig nuts. LeBron just is the greatest ever. And LeBron. Oh, but James Harden, he dribbles too much. Oh, Chris Paul can't win the big one. Oh, Chris Bosh, oh, he just only had 14 points. I couldn't stand Chris Broussard. Rob Parker, couldn't stand him. Looking like a funeral director. But, I remember Rob Parker. When it came to stuff like Ben Rock, he used to be on Around the Horn a lot back in the day. When Ben Roethlisberger got accused of rape, Rob Parker wasn't saying shit. But Rob Parker would not let Pac-Man Jones live. Pac-Man Jones was just the worst thing that happened to black society, according to Rob Parker. All they do is shit on black folks. And when we allow the media to shit on all but one black person, that filters and waters down to the society. If they can do it, I can do it too. So black folks are marginalized all throughout society. And you got niggas running around, I don't understand. Why? Because of the proxy game. The athletic class is a proxy for black success. So if they can get people in the media to tear down the quote unquote most successful black people, again, our athletes are not our most successful people. We have so many dope people that are like far more successful than any athlete you ever heard of. But I'm just speaking on the context of how we are viewed within society. We are viewed within society as athletes being our best and brightest. So if athletes are our best and brightest and they're allowed to continually be shitted on, what's stopping your black ass from getting shitted on? You're right, Larry. Rob Parker looked like a crooked deacon. Yeah. So the title of today's broadcast, The Message versus the Messenger. I see a lot of black folks out there, and I've seen this online this week. A lot of black folks are mad that Kwame Brown brought up Candace Owens, Thomas Sowell, Larry Elder, and that Tommy Sotomayor cat. Which we all know, they're for the most part trolls. We know Larry Elder is a paid troll. We know Candace Owens is a paid troll. And I don't know what the fuck Tommy Sotomayor is, but I ain't got no, I don't listen to him. I saw how he had his beef with Tariq and other people in the 5150 show. I didn't like how he did Zoe and Corey on the 5150 show, becoming cool with them, then talking shit about them. You know what I mean? But if that man listens to those people, if that's who he likes, nigga, that's who he likes. What you doing over here getting mad at somebody else because of who they like? I don't listen to them. I don't think them people are. But I'll tell you this, Candace, go back and listen to the point Kwame made about them. Kwame Brown said, Kwame Brown never said, I like Candace Owens. He said she says things that people need to, in spite of how you feel about them, challenge the point. And that's exactly what I'm on. I've always been on that. Challenge the point. Because you can't get caught up in cult of personality. You can't get caught up in people. You discuss issues, not personalities, not people. Candace Owens, from time to time, says things that I like. Outside of her being a bed wench that I don't trust further than her split ends can throw her. But always remember this, whenever someone has any kind of gravity and they have a lot of people following them, there's always a bit of truth within their bullshit. We know this because preachers do it all the time. Preachers give you a little bit of truth and they surround it by bullshit. The media gives you a nugget of truth and surrounded by bullshit. But I'm going to tell you something like about Larry Elder. I don't like Larry Elder. I appreciate Mr. Helton. Appreciate the Cash App. I don't like Larry Elder at all. But I'm going to tell you something. When I was in middle school, as black and as militant as I am right now, y'all think I've always been a little bit militant, but I wasn't raised in a militant household. My mom used to listen to Larry Elder when she would take me to school, 6th grade, 7th grade. By the time 8th grade, by the time I got to 9th grade, she stopped listening to him because she kind of saw through it. But for about 3 years, every morning, every day on the way home from school, we'd listen to Larry Elder. And I'm going to tell you how Larry Elder, in spite of his cooning, helped me and my mom out with my education. My mom kept seeing that there were issues in the school system. And she kept seeing how these motherfuckers kept targeting me. How they was always trying to put me in special ed. How the school was always trying to say I wasn't good enough to be in class. We talking early 90s. We talking about 93, 94, 95. This before Larry Elder got on TV. He was on KABC radio here in LA. Larry Elder would go hard on, in spite of racism, in spite of what you're against, you still have to win. Larry Elder preached that message. And I hated when my mom would listen to him in the car. I hated it. Especially when he would have callers, because he'd be talking about, because this is, again, around, another reason why she would listen to him, because a lot of this was going on around the time of OJ. This when the OJ trial was going on. For those of you too young to remember, OJ was the biggest thing. There was no internet. We couldn't go to TMZ.com and pull up the latest news. So you had to go like to like AM talk shows. If people who worked all day couldn't watch the trial on TV, if they wanted to get debriefed of what happened, they had to listen to AM radio. And mind you, at the same time during the 90s, AM radio is it's not new, but this is just as Rush Limbaugh starting to blow up. So AM radio was conservative like a motherfucker, but it wasn't always that way. So at this time in the early 90s, there's a lot of that going on. So it's like, okay, if you want some information, you kind of had to listen to conservative. But they didn't really label themselves conservative. They just labeled themselves American. We didn't really start to understand these code words until later on in the 90s. So my mom would listen to him because she was okay, that's a black dude. And we would listen to the OJ stuff, and Larry Elder would piss us off. But he always had a message of, in spite of racism, in spite of what you're up against, you need to win. There are no excuses. And let me tell you something. I needed to hear that at that time. Yeah, we have 280 viewers, 146 likes. Hit that like button and share this broadcast, please. And keep listening. I'll give you a discount code to my live drum sample packs if you keep listening later on in the show. 20% off. Back to what I'm talking about. My mom would always drive that home point. My mom didn't know what I was against at the time. Again, this is before Hidden Colors. So I don't even know about the whole, how they're trying to, the school to prison pipeline. That's nowhere in our consciousness at the time. We just knew something wasn't right. They kept trying to put me in special ed. My mom knew I was smarter than that. So she would be like, yeah, Dwan, this is the reason why I listen to Larry Elder. He helps encourage me to help push you in spite of what we're going against. No, I don't agree with everything this dude says. So me listening to Larry Elder in the 7th grade, mind you, this is the 7th grade. I had dyslexia, and I did not know I had dyslexia. I just thought that, I just thought I was stupid, honestly. When I was in middle school, I just thought I was dumb because I'm like, why am I studying? Why am I doing? I never missed one homework assignment from elementary school. The first homework assignment I ever missed was in the first semester of my senior year in high school. That was the first homework assignment I missed in any class ever in my life. And I still only got C's. I mean, even when I would be sick, because I was asthmatic, so I would miss a week of school sometimes. Even when I would miss a week of school, I still did all my work from home. That's how diligent I was on my studies in school. But in spite of that, I very rarely got A's. I was a C student. Up and down. 2.55 GPA. Middle school, high school, and in college, 2.0. I said it. I'm not ashamed of it. But 1993, 7th grade, 1994, I thought I was dumb to put in that much work and still have your teachers telling your mom maybe he belongs in special ed. I thought I was stupid. At the same time, all the black people are saying, sort of being militant about it. I heard this man, Larry Elder, who I did not like, say, in spite of what's going on, you can win. Something in me picked up on that message. There was something deep inside that said, there's some truth in what he's saying. So I held on to what Larry Elder said. And I won regardless. I got out of school, ended up graduating college. Thank you, Larry Elder, for that. In spite of you being a bitch, a paid shield operative for white supremacy. Mission not accomplished. Your job, Larry Elder, was to mislead the people. But in order to mislead people, you always got to drop some truth, because no one's going to ever listen to someone who's, your spirit knows. Your inside, your gut, you know when you being bullshitted. What's up, Sherelle, in the chat room? Really real. I hope I see you at these jazz festivals this summer, Sherelle. Don't be bullshitting. Don't be bullshitting, Sherelle. Guardian of Jazz Festival, I better see your ass there. Back to what we're talking about. Even though Larry Elder was on some bullshit, the fact that in order to get people to listen, you have to always drop some real shit, and that's how the formula works. Real shit is always wrapped in bullshit. Real shit is always wrapped in bullshit. So if you hear a bunch of bullshit and there's a lot of people attracted to it, pick up what you can get out of it. And I picked up some life-changing information from Larry Elder, in spite of how I feel about that nigga. In spite of how I feel about him. So when I see people over here saying cancel Kwame because he likes Sotomayor, Tommy Sotomayor did a whole video on Craig Facts. The episode of Craig Facts when we had Zoe on, and when we had Craig Fact, when we had Corey Holcomb on, when they were going through their beef earlier this year, Tommy Sotomayor did a whole video on us, clowning our show, saying stuff about us and about Corey because of how he screwed them over. And he's always trying to troll them. I didn't get on here and go back and forth with that dude. He's irrelevant to me. When Tariq walked up on his face and said, "What's up?" after he threatened Tariq and didn't do nothing when Tariq got in his face, I said, "Oh, he's just a troll. I don't like him." But I'm not going to throw Kwame away because he does. Maybe he didn't see that incident that I saw with Tommy Sotomayor. Maybe he talked to Tommy Sotomayor and heard that dude's side of the story first. We've all done it. You meet two different people got a beef going on. You meet one side first, y'all talk. You hear from their point of view. You kind of have a little bit of respect for what they do. You may not be best friends with them, but you kind of feel a little bit of what they do. Your perception of these incidents is going to be different than someone who saw it with a clean slate, or someone who saw it from Tariq's perspective or Corey's perspective. We all got our perspectives in this life thing. So for you to throw away somebody with a whole good message because of how they look at a few people you don't like, that may be a mistake. Thomas Sowell. I don't like Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell, but Thomas Sowell says some great things. I don't like the fact that he leaves out the white supremacy factor in what he talks about. I don't like the fact that they never talk to Thomas Sowell unless they're talking about black people. Okay, if you're such a great economist, why ain't he being invited on everything economy? Why are you only there to only talk about black folks? But he says some good things about investing in these opportunity zones, taking advantage of the money that we do have. There are things that we can fix within what we already have as a people. I'll let you know, Cisco. Hell, matter of fact, about a month ago, Cisco texted me in the chat about because he had just found about Thomas Sowell. Because Thomas Sowell does say some things that make sense. And I was like, man, Thomas Sowell is a bitch. But I'm not gonna say don't listen, because he still says things that are actionable, things that we can do, because there's a lot of things that we can do as a people to get ourselves out of our situation. And so some of these Uncle Ruckuses, some of these coons, they still have certain things within their message that we can listen to. Yeah, I see all the white folks and non-black people up in Kwame's chat room encouraging him. They always going, I don't worry about these people. They're always going to be looking at what we do. They always going to focus on us. Let's stay the issue. Don't worry about them. We do have a lot of things we need to fix. But at the same time, what I like about what Kwame's doing, he's equal opportunity. He's giving Rachel Nichols the business. He's giving Skip Bayless the business. He going just as hard at Rachel Nichols. He went harder at Rachel Nichols than he did Jamel Hill. And they both deserve it. He went just as hard with Skip Bayless' whole ass as he did Chris Broussard. Checking in from Nashville. What's up? Somebody said, talk about the Peterson guy. Are you talking about Jesse Lee Peterson? I'll tell you one thing. Just look, all these dudes, Jesse Lee Peterson, Larry Elder. I remember hearing Judge Joe Brown say this about Larry Elder. I remember Judge saying something like, Larry Elder kind of know. He kind of know. He knows he's bullshitting. But it's about the money. These people know that they bullshitting white folks. But I'll tell you this, your Larry Elders, your Candace Owens, your Jesse Lee Petersons, they are far less harmful to black society than Al Sharpton and these Democrat bootlick niggas. Look at these bootlicks, all on Twitter jumping on the whole trans bandwagon. Black is and trans have some kind of common bond, and look at how the Democrat blacks treat us. I understand black folks that go to the extreme other side because, like Needy Fuller says, white supremacy operates on confusion. Yeah, opportunity zones are a way for corporations to get tax benefits in the black community. So open your black ass up a corporation and go get an opportunity zone. It's not that hard. if you got the money. He's speaking to people who got the money. He's talking to athletes. Basketball players have the money to incorporate and take advantage of opportunity zones. Because guess what? Like Kwame said, if 2 or 3 basketball players get together, they could buy the whole goddamn, come on, the Memphis Grizzlies? Property in Memphis ain't shit. You mean to tell me them boys can't get together and own key parts of Memphis and buffer against gentrification because some brothers with bread that own it that's now getting residual income? See, look, they don't have these conversations within basketball circles. They don't. They talk about hoes, cars, and bottle service within basketball circles. So if it takes a conservative black man that listens to people I don't like to tell them that, guess what Dwan sees? It ain't about Dwan fucking Brown and my sensibilities. It's about the message. You may not be able to take advantage of opportunity zones working for the city. I get it. But he's speaking to people who do have the means and resources to do it. But you want to throw him away because he listens to somebody you don't like. I'm not here for that small-mindedness. I cannot like the people he listens to and still get the message. I'm sure so far what Kwame said, I for the most part agree with. I'm sure pretty soon he is going to say something I vehemently disagree with. I'm just counting the days, the minutes, the hours before Kwame says something I vehemently disagree with. But you know what's going to happen when that day comes? I'm going to still give the man an ear because I understand how dire the crisis is within the NBA. Because I've been there. Now, I said again, not playing, but in the environment. And these are concerns I've had in my mind for over 15 years about the fact that whenever I'm kicking it with the NBA homies, we ain't talking about shit but video games and pussy and clubs. That bothered me when I was in my 20s. That bothered me then. So to hear an athlete talk about these things is encouraging to me. Because people are going to listen to him that would never listen to me. To hear him talk about how these people talk about black athletes. Kevin Durant tried to stick his neck out because people always want to talk about, oh, well, he was a bust. Well, when Kevin Durant stuck his neck out back in 2014, talking about how the media shitted on him, he had no support. All the other players sat back and watched Kevin Durant get publicly lynched by the media. And Kevin Durant's been getting publicly lynched since. They don't even talk about it. Kevin Durant's been the best player in basketball for about 6 or 7 seasons now. When the game's on the line, he guards the other team's best player. When the game's on the line, the other team's best player be running from him. That action tells me he's the baddest motherfucker on the court. When Durant plays against everybody's favorite king. Go back and watch them games against Golden State versus Cleveland. In the last 2 minutes of them games, when the games was close, look at Kevin Durant guarding LeBron James. Look at LeBron James switching off Kevin Durant when Kevin Durant had the ball. That action tells me we all know who the baddest motherfucker on the court is. Damn your words. Damn a stat. damn what they tell me on your morning basketball shows. When I see you running from guarding your matchup, you just told me you think that nigga's better than you. But the media won't point stuff like that out because Kevin Durant called the media out and how the media mistreats black people. So now Kevin Durant can't get a positive story about his ass no matter what he do. No one helped. No one jumped in. No one said, man, why y'all talking about this boy like that? Kyrie Irving has his own mind. He says, I want to take a few games off because I don't like the way you guys treat people and talk about me. So I'm going to take some time off. What do everybody do? Get up and publicly shit on them. Anytime a black person in sports has his own mind, the media shits on him. So now here comes somebody, and like I said before, that carries down to us. If they can shit on what they perceive as our best and brightest, what does that do for you and your perspective and your prospects on going through life? They'll never let you disrespect a white athlete, no matter how bad he is. If you ask me, the biggest bust in basketball over the last 15 years is 20 years is probably, well, Anthony Bennett, he was number one pick, but probably Adam Morrison out of Gonzaga. Y'all remember Adam Morrison? 2006 NBA draft. Charlotte Bobcats pass on Brandon Roy and select Adam Morrison, third pick of the draft. All the hype in the world. Next Larry Bird. He might be better than Dirk Nowitzki. Oh, he's going to be better than John Stockton. See, they weren't comparing Kwame Brown to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he came in. They weren't comparing Kwame Brown to Shaquille O'Neal when he came in. But they were comparing Adam Morrison to Larry Bird. Four years later, Adam Morrison ain't even in the NBA no more. But they won't let you shit on Adam Morrison. They will not, you will never see Skip Bayless calling him a funny name. You'll never see, and you definitely won't see any black players saying he's nobody, he's irrelevant, he's a bum. They just lied through omission. Let's not even bring this motherfucker up. Since we ain't got nothing positive to say about Adam Morrison, we just won't even bring him up. Jimmer Fredette was another one. You right. We all knew Jimmer Fredette wouldn't be shit. Short with long ass arms. So they don't shit on them white boys on TV, and half of you niggas is afraid to shit on white boys in real life. Let's tell the truth. We know a whole bunch of black folks that'll be out there. What's up, Taisha SX? Follow her page. Showing you protection, how to protect yourself. But yeah, we go as a people, our athletic class is used as a proxy for us. And it carries down to the rest of us. So as long as Kwame's talking about that, and another thing Kwame said, he's talking about following, telling people, hey, take pictures of Stephen A. Smith when he's out. Let's know more about his family since you want to talk about other people's family. Let's police the media the way the media polices us. There's some shit I've been calling on since 2000. Look, I've been wanting something like this to happen ever since that phony fraud. For all of you who old school sports watchers, y'all remember the original cold pizza and the original Around the Horn, Cold Pizza back before it became First Take, and the original Around the Horn, they had some white dude on there named Jay Mariotti. Jay Mariotti was a sports writer in the 90s and early 2000s. All he did was talk about moral this and moral that. This isn't moral, that's not moral. He didn't talk about Peyton Manning putting his balls on that girl's forehead at the University of Tennessee. He didn't bring that up. He wouldn't talk about Ben Roethlisberger, but any black person did anything, Jay Mariotti would beat on their head on some moral shit. I remember when he got caught at that hotel in Santa Monica, domestic violence, and got filed domestic violence charges. It was like, the man that's been talking all this moral shit had domestic violence charges filed against him, and then ESPN fired him. But I remember back then thinking, shit, we need to have, somebody needs to walk around with a camera. This before cell phone cameras. Somebody needs to walk around with a camera and take pictures of these fools in the media every time they're at a restaurant, every hotel they go to, the same way they do these niggas. I personally been wanting that shit ever since. So to hear Kwame Brown echo that, I'm like, thank God somebody else said it. Somebody with a much bigger platform than me. So that's where I'm at with this whole Kwame Brown message versus the messenger. I don't like some of the names he dropped, but it ain't about me and who I like and who he like. Is the message right? Now, if Kwame comes around saying, okay, racism doesn't exist, we just need to do better and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, then I'm be like, all right, nigga, calm down. Yeah, we do need to pick ourselves up, but don't spread that we need to pick ourselves up at the expense of saying something else doesn't exist. But he ain't said that. Some of the people he listens to say it, but he ain't said it. Black folks, the same thing with me when it comes to people I listen to and I like. I don't hold them to any kind of standard. Because it's a guarantee at some point, because I'm a thinking person and I listen to thinking people, at some point we are going to disagree. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Now, if he started using his platform saying black people don't need reparations, then we go at him like, hold on. Say what you got to say, homie, but don't tell us what we don't need. But he ain't said that. But Kwame Brown's done a great thing. He's held, you're right, Omad, he's held a mirror up. You're right, sure. We can't even build a Black Wall Street. These niggas already talking about throwing somebody away. You know? But as a people, we got to be more mature than that. And we also have to know this. We have to understand that you have to understand that there are differences within black culture. I feel what you're saying, Shahar. Don't hold your breath on reparations, but every message ain't for everybody. Maybe I'm not going to tell somebody to speak on reparations and they don't even totally understand what that is. Because what if he doesn't truly understand what we're talking about on our side from the school of Claude Anderson and reparations and why we need them? What if he doesn't totally understand that? Then you'll be telling him now speak on it. He'll speak on it and then say something that's uneducated or away from what we need. So if the man don't want to speak on reparations, then he shouldn't speak on reparations. Let those of us who have the knowledge of reparations be the ones speaking on reparations. So when reparations is spoke on, it's communicated properly. You don't want someone with a half understanding preaching for you. And I'm not saying he has a half understanding. I don't know his understanding. I don't know what he never talked about it. I don't know what he sees, how he sees it. But I'm not going to pressure him to speak on something that I want without first understanding if he knows how to even properly communicate what I want. Just like I don't tell Tariq or Jason Black to speak on the racism within sports. They both said that they don't really watch sports like that. So they may not necessarily have the vocabulary to speak on sports. Like Jason Black, when he had a broadcast last year talking about Deontay Wilder and how he wasn't prepared for the biggest fight of his career. And he was speaking with a level of authority. And the way he was talking, it was like, this nigga don't watch boxing at all. Just because you watched the Sugar Ray Hagler versus Hearns back in 1984 and a few Mike Tyson pay-per-views and you caught a couple Mayweather fights, though, that don't mean you know boxing. So when I heard the Black Channel speaking on Deontay Wilder, I was like, this nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about. It sounds like he has a very outsider, novice point of view of boxing. Because boxing is another sport that I understand a lot of the inner workings of boxing, the business of boxing and what goes on. I was like, this nigga is talking about Deontay Wilder as if Deontay Wilder don't have the highest knockout percentage in boxing history, as if he didn't hold on to the WBC title longer than any heavyweight in the history of boxing, as if he didn't already beat the most skilled fighter in the heavyweight division twice, Luis Ortiz. People like, man, Wilder, he can't beat nobody with skill. He beat Luis Ortiz twice, fool. Luis Ortiz has more skill than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury just pop locks. Left out the fact that Wilder had a dent in his skull the size of an egg weight, and how the medical examiner said that there's no way a boxing glove or a knuckle can do this to someone's skull because it's more likely that the knuckle will break before the skull breaks. Ignored all that just to make a point about Deontay Wilder and what he need to do. So no, I don't want niggas who don't understand sports talking about sports. No. That's why I'll never tell them. And as much as I love their insight, I love Tariq and Jason Black's insight. But they, by their own admission, don't watch sports. So they can't craft this message that Kwame Brown is crafting because they don't understand that world. But Kwame do. Kwame understands sports. So the sports message is for Kwame to take up. Leave the reparations talk to Jason Black and Tariq. Ain't nobody gonna communicate reparations better than those two brothers. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to listen. Uriah Wilder's trainer tainted the water. What's his name? Mark Breland, allegedly. You don't want everybody saying everything. You want people to clearly be able to communicate the message on their heart. Because it's a whole lot that needs to get fixed. So that means we're going to need a whole lot of messengers out there focusing on specific issues. And we as listeners need to understand that we will not agree with that messenger all of the time. Matter of fact, there will be certain things that messenger stands on that we vehemently disagree with. Like me personally, I don't listen to Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. They both blocked me on social media because I spoke fondly of Dr. Claude Anderson. But I spend zero time telling you that you shouldn't listen to them or what's wrong with them, because they ain't personally came at me. They just blocked me on social media. That's fine. They didn't come at me, so I ain't gonna go at them. It's people who who I know listen to both Yvette and Carnell that are B1. They got their heads on straight. So there's a certain message within what they have to say that's connecting to people. And I spend zero time telling you that you should not listen to them because they had a disagreement with me. It ain't about me. It ain't about them. If someone's giving you game, giving you information, it ain't on me. Sherelle said, "Fuck Antonio." Yeah, you did go to college with him. Yeah, JR. Yvette and Tone were hating on Dr. Claude Anderson. They were going around about 2 years ago saying that, oh, if Claude Anderson was so good, why are we the ones that put reparations in the conversation? Where was Claude Anderson? And I'm like, hold on, people. Cats is only listening to you because Dr. Claude Anderson watered that grass. Dr. Claude Anderson planted that seed, tilled that field, watered that grass. The grass is already growing. Here you come walking in, the grass is already green, trying to get credit for the lawn, and then turning around and shitting on the man who laid the foundation that you stand on. So I personally could never trust them two for how they talked to Dr. Claude Anderson, and then for being hoes for blocking me just for pointing that out, because rhetorically they couldn't fucking see me in a debate. I can go at either one of them. I would murk Yvette Carnell in a debate and never bring up her forehead. Just stick to the facts, because I see how she uses red herrings. I see how she conflates. I know all those tactics. Again, God damn it, my degree's in communication studies. I was on the debate team. I know how all them tactics work. I'd shut them down. But I spend zero time on them because, hey, they still make good points for those who are willing to listen to them. So it is what it is. But we got to understand that there are distinctions and differences within black culture. Black culture historically is very conservative. We've only become liberal since 1960. And it's not as if we were liberal. Dr. Martin Luther King was never liberal. He just attached himself to that agenda because there was a mutual interest. The liberals needed some more laws to loosen things up, to bring in their lifestyle. Black people needed laws for human rights. So since there was a common agenda, black people got off the Republican train and onto the Democrat train, associating more with the liberals. We aren't liberal. We're very conservative. We built this fucking country. Black people have never been down with immigration. Go back and check. Frederick fucking Douglass talked about this in the 1860s. 1870s. Frederick Douglass talked about immigration ain't shit for us. Ida B. Wells wasn't gonna let Margaret Sanger attach herself to what she was doing. Ida B. Wells wasn't down for that shit. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked openly since the 60s and 70s about this liberal agenda and how it's being created to lessen our numbers. We ain't conservative. We ain't no fucking liberals. It's just that because we've associated ourselves with the Democrats for so long, we don't want to seem like outsiders. They've done a really good job propagandizing us. So when a black person does talk liberal, talk conservative, he's automatically labeled a coon. And granted, most of your conservatives that get mainstream access, they are coons. I'm not saying they're not. But it doesn't mean that every black conservative is. It doesn't mean that every black conservative is. Because when we peel back and go to what our needs are, our desires, our political agenda, the black political agenda is very conservative. If we start voting our self-interest without grouping because we always want to play the, like what Kwame say, the go along to get along game. Because we want to be friends with everybody, we include them in our issues, and they don't give a shit about us. If black people were to say no, damn everybody else, we gonna focus on ourselves, our agenda will be very, very conservative outside of reparations. Reparations will be the only liberal thing on our agenda. But conservative is about spending taxpayer money with Americans. Only thing we want is to get our portion of it. We 13% of the population. We should be getting 13. Our fight isn't over. Our fight with conservatives isn't America for Americans. That's not our fight with them. Our fight with them is when you say America for Americans, we need the same percentage of the pie that we represent in this country. And if we 13% of the country, we need to be 13% of the money. That's our fight. We're not interested in opening up a border to spend money in Japan, in China, in Europe, in Saudi Arabia. We ain't down for that. We want that money with us. We're very conservative when we vote our self-interest. So let's stop labeling motherfuckers because they're okay with expressing their conservative nature. Another difference and distinction within it is Kwame Brown keep telling everybody that he's a Geechee. Black people. Black people. We have a very unique and diverse culture within the United States of America. Within the United States of America, look, they'll allow you and they'll let you say, okay, that person's a Greek, that person's Italian, this person's a Slav, that's a Frank, that's a Turk, that's an Anglo, that's a Saxon, they're German, they're French, they're Irish. Do you know that within America, we have diversity too? We'll allow them diversity on that little ass rock called Europe, that small piece of shit land that ain't even as big as the United States. You can fit England, France, Germany, Italy, Greece, You can fit all them countries all just within the United States. We'll let them express their diversity, but then say we all the same. That's why it's important to understand your black history. There are groups of people here in the Americas that have always been here. They just got reclassified as black. They have their own customs, their own traditions, their own tribes. There are plenty indigenous groups of black Americans, now labeled black Americans, that were here before the Mayflower came. Let me say that again. There are hundreds, if not thousands, well, definitely hundreds of tribes within the United States that are still intact, that have been reclassified as black, that were here millennia before the Mayflower. When you run across somebody who's Geechee and they know they're Geechee, don't fuck with them. Geechee niggas ain't to be fucked with. Andrew Jackson learned that the hard way. The United States has been trying to push native Geechee off their land for 400 fucking years. For 400 years, they've been trying to push them Geechees out of South Carolina, out of Georgia, out of Florida, and they won't go. Them niggas stay and fight. Same with them Creole brothers. You have people down in Louisiana. You got all kinds of tribes down there in Louisiana. Larry knows some of them. Larry's people is some of them. Larry's people's cousins. In the chat room, them niggas down there in Louisiana in them backwoods. You got motherfuckers who been in that land for thousands of years who ain't gone nowhere. You don't fuck with them. You don't fuck with them. The ones who are attached to their cultural roots. I ain't talking about the ones who may be Geechee and don't know they're Geechee or don't care. I ain't talking about them because there are coons within every group. There are sellouts within every group. I'm talking about the ones who know and identify with that heritage. You don't fuck with them. You don't fuck. They have a different motivation than you and I, than everyone else. You can't motivate them with money. You can't motivate them with glitz and glamour in a big house in Beverly Hills. That's no motivation to these country ass niggas. So when you're dealing with a Geechee or a Gula who already has land and money to operate that land, it ain't a motherfucking thing you can give them. Black people are very quick to say, man, don't go down to the hood, man. Don't go down to the hood, man. The Crips and Bloods, man. The Crips run that, man. The Bloods run that. No disrespect to those who bang, but Crips and Bloods don't run shit. They just shoot other niggas. If them Crips and Bloods actually ran anything, why do white people feel safe during the age of gentrification walking they fucking dogs at 5 a.m. down the same goddamn street niggas was getting murdered on 10, 15 years ago? You get a white woman, get her little ass dog out 5 a.m. and walk her ass down that same street. If you really ran it, nigga, why that happening? It's because you don't run shit. You just lord over other niggas. And black people be the main ones. No, man. them niggas in East St. Louis don't play, man. No, nigga, the south side of Detroit, man, South Central LA, we don't play. Man, niggas need to stop that shit. You do play. You just don't play with other niggas. And I don't respect that. Give a fuck how mad you get. Throw your gang sign, put up your gang sign, turn it sideways and stick it up your candy ass. If you ain't willing to do the same banging on white people, I don't respect you. I said it. Never have, never will. You just a misguided, young thinking ass nigga in your 40s still got throwing up sets. Niggas need to stop all that shit. Man, you can't come down to South San Diego. I'm from the hood, man. Line your ass off, nigga. If you ain't willing to do it to white folks, you ain't shit. Now, when you ready, oh shit. When you ready to take that energy and put it on white folks, okay, now I can see you as a gangster. Now you doing something. These Geechee motherfuckers don't care if you black or white. You come across him, they gonna put it on you. That's what I respect about them. The Geechee have proven for over 400 years. If you white, if you black, whatever you are, if you cross this line, I'm fucking you up. That's what the Geechee have proven with their action. Now they'll sit back and not bother you. They'll even let the white folks play their little bullshit ass games. But if you step on my property, them Geechee niggas ain't fucking around. I don't want to hear shit about a Crip or a Blood. They ain't like that. They only like that with niggas. I don't respect it. We as a society need to stop bigging up this gang life. These gang people. Oh, I'm from the hood. Nigga, if you black, everybody from the hood. I don't care if you live in Miami, Jacksonville, Dallas, Seattle. If you black, 90% of you niggas is from the hood. You got a few black folks that live in every city. Well, most cities got upper class black neighborhoods. Okay. And then you'll have a few black people who are sprinkled around white neighborhoods. But whether you live in a white neighborhood, upper class black neighborhood, or the ghetto, you still dealing with white supremacy. And you huffing and puffing talking about some I'm from the hood, that ain't helping shit. Now, if you tell me you a Choctaw, Red Tail, then I'm gonna look at you. Okay. Them Red Tails, that's why they made that movie Red Tails. Them Red Tails are still living in Alabama and Mississippi now. They said, fuck your Trail of Tears. We staying here. You don't fuck with them Red Tails. Them niggas is on their native land in Alabama right now, daring your white ass to come on their property and say something. But if you tell me I'm from the south side of Chicago, what I hear is a nigga that's willing to be aggressive with niggas and not pay a motherfucking attention word to what the white folks is doing. I don't respect it. Need to stop that shit. Until you get the same energy with them as you have with us, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit. Better learn your native black history here in America and who you are and why you need to fucking stand for something. Because every nigga didn't run. And some may have moved, but every nigga didn't get enslaved. And every enslaved nigga wasn't a punk. Some of them enslaved folks got up and got in their ass. We got to learn our history and our culture beyond what they told us. Dig ourselves in something deeper than being from the ghetto of some city or from some hood or from some gang or from some project. Nigga, you ain't from the projects. Your black ass was put in the projects. The work your mama did was backbreaking. And your dad, the amount of work that they put in, they should have had enough money to live anywhere they wanted to in the city. Well, because of laws, they were put in those projects. And because of how this economy works, the jobs that these black people qualify for are only going to pay them enough to stay in the projects. That ain't where you from, nigga. That's where you were herded. You right, Landmark. Claim the globe, nigga. You gonna let some folks that came over here 400 years ago, you taught them how to hunt, you taught them how to grow breakfast, how to grow food, how to cook breakfast. You taught them through Benjamin Banneker when to plant their fucking seeds. You taught them how to grow cotton. You created the cotton gin on how it made the United States shoot past Great Britain in the Industrial Revolution. And you gonna let them tell you what you are? And then bang on other niggas based on the condition that these motherfuckers put you in? Black people, are we thinking? Are we thinking? Are we thinking? Are we thinking? Gotta think. Gotta rethink this whole thing. You're right, Memorial Day was created by black people, honoring dead soldiers of the Civil War. The whole point of my show here, Hotepish, Intelligent Ish Talk, is for us to think, man. Go to my website, hotepish.com. Get these t-shirts. I got the Reparations Now shirt that's new. I got 2 new shirts that are on the way, too, coming up pretty soon. I got my live drum sample packs. Link in my description for you guys who are music producers and you want that live drum sound in your music. Type in the product code, the offer code, FUNK1, F-U-N-K, the number 1. And get 20% off my live drum sample packs. But yeah, we here talking because as black folks, look, man, I put up a picture on my Facebook and my Instagram that pissed some people off. I'm tired of all of us being grouped together. I'm not saying we have to agree with everybody. I'm not, but it's certain people who, like, it's obvious they don't really fuck with us like that. And on top of that, sometimes, hell, you just want to crack jokes. And I hate these people that be like, you can't crack jokes on somebody because that's a black woman, that's a black man. Look, goddammit. Cracking jokes is essential to black culture. What's one thing I love about us? If you notice, niggas always are gonna whoop somebody's ass. I'll beat your ass. Niggas be the first ones to be like, I'll beat your ass. You know why? Because when we're in our nature, we're a peaceful people. Have an ass whooping, get back to it. All this guns and shooting and shit, that's all come on since the mid-'80s. I plan on doing a whole broadcast on this subject. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about it right now. Black folks didn't really go around killing each other like that before the 80s. That crack epidemic brought that shit in when the government started giving us dropping off all these guns in the hood. If you go back and watch my episode I did with Freeze Love last year, we talked about how in the early 90s when niggas had beefs, niggas would have a pop locking contest. And whoever pop locked the best is who won the beef. That's where the whole roasting thing comes from, talking shit. We ain't gonna fight you, but we are gonna let you know why one leg longer than the other one, you hop along bitch. That's just who we are as a people. We talk shit. And when we talk shit, nothing happens. It's just shit talk. Like Kwame Brown, the way he be going in, the reason why niggas love him so much, because he be going in. That nigga sounds like everybody's favorite uncle. We all got a shit talking nigga like Kwame Brown somewhere within our family. Larry dawg, you can find out your family could be Geechee, Gucci. Nigga, I'll still beat your ass, Larry. Me and Larry be talking like Kwame just casually, nigga. But the truth is I really would whoop Larry's ass, and it would be easy to too. I'll stomp a hole in your ass, nigga, and walk it dry, bitch. That's just how we talk about each other. But I posted this picture earlier and people got mad. My question was, would you take down KRS-Two or Leslie Jones, or would you rather have your dick bit off by an alligator? Which one you taking, fellas? You got 3 choices. Head from an alligator, Leslie Jones, or KRS-Two. I bring these 2 up because I don't like them. Every time KRS-Two was in something, she's shitting on black men. Somebody said, get that T-Rex off the screen. And y'all know I don't like Leslie. She stole a homegirl Precious's joke. Somebody's like, don't talk about our black queens. Well, when you got somebody going around stealing jokes from comedians I like, why not talk about her? The homie Precious been working on them jokes forever. Precious, dope ass from female comedian. Shouts out to Precious Hall. When I saw Leslie take her joke, I ain't had no respect for that. I'm not gonna sit here and be quiet. Man, don't talk about our black queen. Well, if Leslie Jones is a black queen, I lost the chess match. Give me a new chessboard. Shit, you win. I gotta go back and buy some new chess pieces. Where's the nearest game store? These chess pieces is chipped and fucked up. Somebody said in the chat room I'm sounding like a square. Well, if you listening to me, what does that make you, nigga? That solves that. Leslie over here taking shit from people. And as a comic, we're very sensitive about vet comics taking our shit. Because all of us up and coming comics, we've all had comics on TV take our shit. Good thing about the internet now, though, is we now got something to say about it. They can't just take our shit and get away with it anymore. We got the internet to call these fools out. And on top of that, another thing with Leslie, I don't like the character she play. They always have her playing Mammy. Even on that Uber commercial she on, they got her. Leslie Jones is a running joke that white people play on us. They say, oh, you want a black person? Well, let's have a little bit of fun right here and get Ben Wallace in drag. Yeah, she gonna be a representative of black women. Ben Wallace in drag. Somebody said, on the same dude that called me a square said, well, I'm comfortable being a square. Well, if you comfortable being a square, then sit your comfortable ass down on your recliner and shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. I hate when people get in the comments trying to police me and what the fuck I talk about. Nigga, I am a comedian, god damn it. Before I'm a comedian, I'm DwannBrown. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. If it's too much, bounce. But you're right, Bug Sheldon. KRS-Two is very dangerous. She's very dangerous. Because she's very quick to shit on the whole of black society to advance that bullshit Me Too agenda that only gives consequences to black people. Plus, I told you before, people who've been listening for a long time and listen to Craig Flex, y'all know I've had interactions with Leslie Jones personally. See, a lot of you niggas that be listening, y'all just, and this isn't to everybody. This isn't in it. Let me make it very clear. This is not an indictment on everyone. But I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my experience. I'm born and raised in LA, and before I became a comedian, I was at the hottest nightclubs in LA, at bottle service, living it up. A lot of these people in the media that you guys see as TV people, I personally interacted with. And 95% of the time, I'll never tell the story. Again, like I said, 95% of the time, I'll never tell the story. But I've been very open about my story, my interactions with Leslie, before she got as famous as she is right now. I'll never forget. We were in the Comedy Store green room. Leslie had just gotten hired for Saturday Night Live. She hadn't been on the show yet. She hadn't even flew to New York yet. This was a Thursday. I think the announcement that she got the job was like that Monday or Tuesday of the same week, earlier the week. All we did was say, hey, Leslie, we wanted to congratulate her on the job. You know what she did? She turned around, looked at me and Craig, two black men, flipped her head backwards. It was like, psh, walked out and slammed the door. That was my last interaction with Leslie Jones. I've had others where I went to her to say good set after a set, and she just kind of looked the other way as if I ain't there. If you go back and listen to Precious's podcast on these hoes, Precious had a similar story where she talked about expressing her. And for a lot of us young comics who weren't part of her generation, we all have stories of interactions with Leslie Jones that aren't good. And if I feel like speaking on it, guess what? I'ma speak on it. So I spoke on it. Because Leslie's off cold when she says yes to playing fucking Mammy every goddamn time she gets on camera. She's a walking caricaturer of black women. She the Popeyes lady. Who Popeyes? Paul Mooney had a joke about that. Who's this Popeyes woman? Who Popeyes? Popeyes this. Popeyes that. She's very nasty. Every black person don't get the same treatment. Nope. There are black people I flat out don't fuck with. Now again, if Kwame Brown came out and said that he likes KRS-Two and he likes Leslie, I wouldn't tell him that that's wrong because I don't like him. Because from my point of view, they're poisonous. I would be like, well, maybe Leslie makes the nigga laugh. I'm not gonna stop listening to Kwame because he likes Leslie. That's very immature. I'm not going to change my opinion of someone based on how they feel about someone I don't like. You have to own your opinions. You have to own your thoughts. I'll take those two rough faces off the camera. You have to be secure enough within yourself to own how you perceive things. And if someone else perceives things a little bit differently, it's not because they're right and you're wrong. It's not because you're wrong and they're right. It's just a difference in perception. I dare you niggas right now, go take your best friend, somebody you cool with, somebody, your wife, or whether it be your wife, your best friend, your cousin, your brother, whoever it is you're cool with. This is a drill I want you to do. And this is something, again, this is game right here. Stop talking, you people in there trying to be counter to everything I'm saying. Shut up and get some game. This is the drill. Go. Somebody says she's, let me see that comment. If someone's extremely damaged in their adulthood of being teased about their looks, they need to seek counseling. I don't have any sensitivities toward that either. I have a joke I talk about. I've been fat my whole goddamn life. Don't nobody get jokes more than a fat kid. Nigga, my grandfather called me the fat motherfucker since I was 3. My grandfather would feed me pancakes, and then when his friends came by the house later on that day to play spades, he would clown me in front of his friends the whole day. Look at that little fat bastard. I gave him 2 pancakes, and you would have more pancakes, but the little fat bastard ate 10 pancakes, and I ain't got nothing left. And I had to hear this shit from my grandfather from the age of 3 on. Go to school, get clowned for my weight. Go to church, get clowned for my weight. Hell, I casually be walking through the mall and you get somebody saying, you need to lose weight. I ain't damaged. You can't let people damage you because of how they perceive you. And if you are damaged based on what somebody else said to you, then you need to go to fucking counseling. And if you got a job on Saturday Night Live, that means you can afford to go to a fucking counselor. I don't have time to be dealing with your bullshit. But going back to the analogy I was getting ready to give. Take a pen and pad down because I charge $175 an hour for this kind of game. When I'm dealing with families in crisis over communication. This is one of my drills. Free game for you niggas. Take somebody you're very close to, extremely close to. You generally see things the same way. Go outside, stand in front of a car. You stand in the front, they stand in the back. Get a pen and pad out. Write down everything that you see from the front of the car. And at the same time, your best friend, cousin, brother, or whoever, they're going to write down everything that they see from the back of the car. Mind you, you're looking at the same car with your best friend, somebody that you communicate to well. When you two compare notes, will y'all have the same picture of that car? Because if you're looking at that car from the front, you're going to talk about the headlights, the grill, the emblem on the grill, how the tires look from the front, the side where the blinker lights are, golden blinking lights, usually yellow in the front. The person in the back, they're gonna draw the tail lights, how the trunk looks, the back bumper. They're gonna have probably a red colored blinker. So what if you two get into an argument and the person from the front of the car says, no, the blinker's orange. The person in the black is saying, no, nigga, the blinker's red. How you gonna tell me? We both looking at the car. Well, the angle, depending on the angle you're looking at that car, you're going to walk away with a different perception of how that car looks. Same fucking car. Y'all viewing that same car at the same time. Different perspectives. So I'm not gonna fall out over somebody because of their perspective over the same person that I have. That's not time to fall out. Now the difference is what I do. Now once I've taken a look at that car myself and I've walked around that car 360, I checked under the hood, I checked the check engine light, I looked in the trunk, then I'm gonna walk away with my perception of it on the full 360. And I'm going to express myself how I feel necessary based on my perception. I'm not gonna listen to a nigga that came and looked at that same car a few days later and walk away with a different conclusion. Maybe that person didn't pop the trunk. Maybe that person didn't look under. Maybe that person just saw a picture of the car and based their whole perception on that picture. They didn't pop the hood. They didn't check to see if the oil is in there. They didn't put out that dipstick. They didn't check the battery. I did. Why would I compromise how I feel and how I express myself based on something I've thoroughly checked out because it doesn't agree with you and how you checked it out? That goes for people who may be listening to the replay or in the chat room or whatever. I express things based on how I experienced it. I'm not going to sit here and listen to a motherfucker telling me to change how I express based on my opinions and my experiences because you have a different set of experiences and a different set of opinions. The key is this: whatever you base your opinion on whatever you base your perception on, make sure that you've taken the time out to look under the hood. Check the oil. Check the engine light. Check the transmission fluid yourself. Check to see if there's any dead bodies in the trunk. Check the tire pressure. Check to see if the seats roll back and forward the way they should. Whenever you're assessing something, give it a full inspection. See, a lot of people, they'll go off what somebody else said and then make a total judgment off what somebody else said. Or they'll just look at the car. They may even come up to the car and look and sit in it. But just because it looked good and the seat was comfortable when they sat in it, they'll make a whole judgment and then argue against a nigga. Meanwhile, another person checked under the hood and saw that the battery don't even work. You arguing with somebody who checked under the hood when all you did was look at it. They're trying to tell you the battery don't work and there's no transmission fluid, and you arguing with them saying the car is perfect. See how that goes? See how that works? See how that works? Donby says, sorry to hear that. That was mean. Yeah, my grandfather, but look, I'm glad you said that. No, it wasn't. Look, I was talking to my wife about this, dog. Yeah, but my grandfather's 97 years old, still alive, and I take care of him. I help my dad take care of him. My dad do most of the work, my dad and my uncles, but I jump in when I can. My grandmother explained it to me back then. Is that how you pronounce the name, Adangbi? But my grandmother said it back then. Poppy is just toughening you up because we live in a tough world out there. And the more and the better you could take it here in the home, the easier to be to face out in the world when you face it. And God damn it, my grandmama was right. My grandmother was right. So I didn't walk around with a stigma my whole life. Because she was right. You could take that bullshit in the home, you could take it anywhere. You got niggas going around mad because of what people said back when they was in elementary school. You better look twice at who judging you. Like, I don't laugh. One of the main reasons why I don't laugh at fat jokes, half the niggas saying fat jokes, I wouldn't want, 99% of it, I wouldn't want to exchange my life with yours. Niggas sitting back cracking jokes from a messenger screen. I don't never got nobody's chat room and talk shit to somebody I'm listening to. If I'm listening to somebody, I'm listening to what they say. You ain't gonna never see me try to take over and tell them why they wrong. I'll be like, man, I don't agree with that, but you know, it's that person. I'm in this person's presence. I'm in this person's space. So if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna soak up what they have to say. And if they say something that I don't agree with, then I don't agree with it. But I don't have to go around protesting to them because I'm secure within what I have to say. I'm secure within me. I got people who are I've had straight up alcoholics tell me I need to lose weight. I said this shit on stage. I'm like, hold on. How do you have time to talk about what I need to do when you can't say no to a bottle of Hennessy? Nigga, you ain't the person that need to be talking to me. I've had these skinny vegan niggas. Hey man, you don't need to be eating no meat, man. Man, you know what it do to you, man. It slow you down. You don't have the same energy, man. Same person can't keep up with my schedule. Can't wake up and do a show, run a business, do a podcast, get on stage at night, crack jokes, and still have time to be a good husband to your wife. You niggas going around eating vegan, skinny than a thimble, but can't keep a relationship going. Can't keep a fruitful relationship. You need to lose weight. Nigga, you need to learn how to have somebody in your life for more than 6 months without totally disappointing them as to who you are. Can't keep nobody around you for more than 2 years before they stop fucking with you. Trying to tell me what I need to do. Man, I done had the same best friend since the age of 3. Nigga, my wife been down with me. We've been damn close friends since 1994. And I'm supposed to listen to you? Mr. Six Pack, but can't find a woman? Fuck out of here. You better listen to your heart. Yeah, Al Show, people hang on to harsh treatment as youth. We all got it as kids, man. If you was the light-skinned pretty chick, I remember being at church. The light-skinned chick with the green eyes got jokes like, oh, that bitch, she Mrs. Perfect. Thinking she this, thinking she that. Everybody gets it. You the gap tooth person? Nigga, you could be in your 40s right now, but run across somebody that you knew as a teenager back when you had that big ass snagglepuff mouth. And they still gonna look at you. You done got the gap fixed, you done changed, but they still see you as the Rufus with the gap tooth. You better get over that shit. You better get over that shit. You better get over that shit. Somebody said nothing wrong with losing weight. Who said there is something wrong? There go another thing. People always say, you talk about where you are, they go jump right into what's nothing wrong. I don't listen to you niggas, man. I swear to God. I don't. Dr. Layla Africa died at 74 years old. Perfect health. None of us know it all. That's why you'll never see me tell people what they need to do. I don't know enough. And neither do you. Anxiety and stress, it's been proven scientifically that anxiety and stress creates cancer and heart attacks. When's the last time you seen somebody go up to somebody and say, hey man, take a vacation? You stressing too hard. That leads to heart disease. Oh, you haven't been told to say that. That's why you don't say it. People repeat what they hear. People repeat what sounds good. People don't sit back and analyze what they're saying. They just repeat what sounds good. That's why those of you out there listening, follow your heart. Because most of the people talking never took time to analyze what they saying. They just repeating what somebody else said. That sounds good. That's all they doing. So on one hand, don't take it personal. A lot of people that repeat these things, on one hand, people are just doing what they want to reach out and they really are looking out for you. But on the other hand, you got people who just always looking to one up the next person. It's very hard to find original thoughts. You're right. Ndabe, fear, anxiety, stress, and anger are the roots of most diseases. You know how many... Look, I've had 2 people die this calendar year so far. In their 50s. That eat right and work out. 2. In their 50s. I'm not saying that being fat is the model of health. What I'm saying is we don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Meanwhile, ask me would I be getting my grandfather who's 97 years old? Church's Chicken, Popeyes. My grandfather loved Fatburger. He been eating Fatburger. My grandfather discovered Fatburger about 20 years ago. I'll never forget. He was, at the time, Poppy was 77 years old. He's always cooking his own food, but by this time he couldn't cook like he used to. So Poppy discovered Fatburger at 77. And been eating Fatburger at least once or twice a week since. 97 years old. Outliving all these niggas that say you need to be vegan your whole life. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. What do they say? Nobody knows the trouble I see. How that song go? Nobody knows. The difference between me and a lot of people is, see, a lot of these niggas, I don't play smart. I just be me. I don't play smart. If I don't know something, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know, nigga. And don't ask me again. I don't know. But you got niggas that run around talking all kind of shit like they know every goddamn thing. Man, look. It's shit that I don't fucking know. And I'm secure enough within myself to say I don't know. You're right, Goldie, there is no manual. I knew shit was off because as big as I've been my whole life, especially back when I hooped a lot, I was in my early 30s, the 20s, nigga. I would hoop 5 hours a day and still be at 335, 340 pounds. Running the whole time I'm hooping. I learned to play from Magic Johnson. I grew up watching Magic Johnson, nigga. We running fast breaks. I ain't walking the ball up the court. We pushing this shit. I don't know if Larry's sitting in the chat room. He'll tell you. Nigga, Larry will tell you, as big as I am, my advantage on the court was quickness. I've always defied the odds. I dare skinny motherfucker to put his schedule next to mine and let's see who has more energy throughout the day. I dare you. You niggas go to 1 8-hour job and you tired. Man, I had a long day at work today. I'm tired. Nigga, when I had a day job, I get off. And this is at one point in the late 2000s, I had ballooned up to 400 pounds. I ain't at 400 pounds no more. I'm way away from that. But when I had ballooned up to 400 pounds, nigga, I go to work, 8 hours, get off work, and still hit 3 or 4 comedy clubs every night. First comedy, get off work, be done working by 4. I'm at that first comedy club at 7. I'm at the next comedy club at 8:30. I'm at the next comedy club at 11. And I'm hitting one more mic at midnight or 1. And then back to work tomorrow at 9 in the morning. And I got motherfuckers with a 6-pack telling me that they tired from 1 8-hour shift. Get the fuck out of here. You repeating what you heard, motherfucker. I was riding my bike every day, but this shit got cold. But now I'm starting to warm up. Now that it's warming up, I'm back on my bike. Y'all seen my bike. That shit smooth than a motherfucker. And I hit my heavy bag at least 5 days a week. I love working out. I love that feeling of lung burn. That feeling when your lungs are burning, your muscles are sore. Nigga, that's the best sleep you can get. I love that feeling. Good job. Hey, Kenneth Berry, I saw that post you put up on Facebook about you quitting your job, and now you in a better situation. Salute to you, Kenneth Berry. I remember you posting that on Facebook. That was a dope story you wrote about getting yourself up off that last job. How Dr. Sinister, they used to call me Escalade. It's funny too, because I was in the hotel, the same hotel with Escalade. I wasn't with him, but we were like, that was All-Star Weekend when he was here in LA, and he died in the room. Like, his hotel room was like on the same floor where I was when it happened. I just remember seeing ambulances come up the elevator. I didn't know what was going on, and I found out about an hour later that Escalade had just died. That was All-Star Weekend out here in LA. I don't know if that was his room they were going to. It could have been somebody else's, but it was at the downtown Marriott across the street from Staples Center when he died. Oh, Star's in here. What up? I thought I had a Star. Let me see. Add moderator. Star's your moderator. I salute the Star for coming way out from damn Fresno to come to see us on stage this past weekend. That was dope. Like, I was humbled by y'all that came out to the show. I appreciated that. I was just so damn nervous. I wanted to make sure y'all had a good show because we ain't been getting on stage regularly lately. And when you ain't getting on stage regularly, man, that mess your timing up. So I was like, man, I hope these people didn't fly way out here just to see me fuck up because I ain't been on stage in a long time. Somebody said that I got dumped on the Westchester Park. Yeah, shout, man, rest in peace to Ray. My man Ray. My man Ray was somebody I used to hoop with at Westchester Park every Saturday and Sunday. That man stayed on the basketball court. He died in his 50s a couple weeks ago. The brother man ate right. He worked out. He did everything they say you should do to live a long life. And I mean, when this man was in his 50s, he was still outrunning cats in their 20s on the basketball court. He was that dude. Outrunning all the 20-year-olds. Be on that court for hours in his 50s. In great shape. Still passed away. Just a reminder that we don't know. It's just that while we're here on this earth, while we're living, that dash between our birthday and our death day, make sure you live it up. Make sure you live it up. Star, Ben thought I had a wrench on you. I don't know why you didn't have one. Shit, my bad. My bad. But yeah, we don't know how this life works. And for as much research as I do, for as much reading as I do, I understand one thing. I don't know shit. So I keep my mind open. And I listen to different messengers when they have the message. Goldie said, name some fat hoopers. Well, Stanley Roberts was my nigga back in the day. Stanley Roberts, Pig Miller, Oliver Miller, Duckworth, Robert Tractor Trailer. Back in the Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley's the greatest fat hooper ever. You're right, the Al shows. Marathon runners that be dying in their 30s and 40s. We don't know how this life game works. We don't know. So stop falling out with motherfuckers. Oh man, EG, you knew Charles Drake? Yeah, Charles Drake, that was my nigga. He died about 10 years. He died right after our 10-year reunion. He was running back for Westchester. I was on the offensive line back then. Rest in peace, Charles Drake. That was my nigga at Westchester. My last time seeing him was at the 10-year reunion. And he ended up passing away not too much longer after that. Stress. Manage your stress. Manage your anxiety. I'm not speaking as the oracle. I'm speaking as someone who's learning how to better manage my stress and anxiety. I'm much better at managing my stress and anxiety now in 2021 than I was in 2014. But I'm going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep getting better. And through my journey inside to get better at managing my stress and being the best person I can be, I have zero time to tell you what you need to do and how you need to look and what you need to be doing. The only way you can get those answers is through your heart, through your gut. You know best for you, not me. All I can do is point out what I see from my perspective. And hopefully within the message that I deliver, somebody out there can pick it up and run with it and apply it however is best for them. I'm about to get up out of here because we have Craig Facts a little later on. I want y'all to tune in too. My name is Dwan B. Remember this. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to listen. Thank y'all again. Thank you, Star, for coming out to the show. You had a wonderful husband. I mean, y'all look, Star and her husband look beautiful together. Beautiful black couples. Y'all look like y'all belong together. For real, for real. Your husband, I forgot his name. He had a firm handshake. That's the thing about us, dude. If you got a weak handshake, niggas look at you weird. But brother man had a firm handshake, confident. Salute to the God, and salute to the family, and salute to everybody in here who's doing their best to be the best that they can be. Salute to everybody who's picking up the messages and not getting caught up in the personality. Know yourself, love yourself. My name is Dwan B. We out.